Hi everyone, this is Diane. I'm going to make some ephemera today for no journals in particular except this one, which I did not make. Let me talk about that for a little bit. But I just wanted to, in between journals, spend some time creating some ephemera to use in future journals. So you may remember I bought this journal from Karla Frizzelle. I will link her shop below. She makes amazing journals, and they almost all, if not all of them, feature children's book covers and children's book pages. And she makes her ephemera with images from children's book pages, and they're just amazing, and I love them. Well, she has been doing a series of these large journals. They could be glue books. She leaves them unembellished, I think, for the most part. I don't know if there's any embellishment in there. And I really wanted one of her journals with her embellishments, but I figured I make similar things to her embellishments because I'm influenced by her. And this is a tray of stuff that I have prepped and ready to make some of these types of embellishments that she does. So I have a lot of cutouts and die cuts and things. And so she did a video, I think it was maybe last week, and she was making embellishment, or showing embellishments that she had made, and she makes them in large quantities. And she showed some cards that she had made using the milk bottle caps, the milk pogs, that she purchased from me. And I didn't know. I hadn't seen that video, and all of a sudden my milk bottle caps started selling, and I just sold the last one just before I started this video, my last bag of milk bottle caps. So thank you so much, Karla, for promoting my shop like that. And the cards that you made with them are just charming, so I'm going to be making some of those. And I just wanted to show a few of the things I've been working on making. Some of the things that she made, and I want to use them in this book, but I also want to use them in future books. So I'll put this away because I'm not using it today. And I'll move this to the side. And the first thing she showed on her video were some circles. They were circles that she had cut off from a page. They were already in the circular shape. But I thought that was cute, and she backed it with cardstock. So, oh, I need to show you the cardstock I'm using. Where did that go? Oh, here it is. So she used file folder, and I'm running low on file folders, believe it or not. But I have this Charlie Brown calendar with this kind of a parchment-y looking manila color. And so this is great for journaling, that spot right there. So I'm using these to back my pieces. So that's what these are. And I used my 2.5-inch punch to just punch out some images. And did that. And then I found some of these images that I had already cut out, and they're in the circular shape, so I went ahead and glued them to cardstock and, you know, just neatened up the cutout edges. I love that. So cute. So that's the first thing she showed, and then she showed just some figures that were cut from books that she glued to cardstock. I just did 2. So these could be journaled on or glued on as a tuck spot. The cardstock makes them sturdier. And then the next thing she did was with the milk bottle caps. So these are milk bottle caps. These are the ones I had in my shop. And that's what she was using. So she took a book image. She didn't fussy cut it. She just cut the image into a rectangular shape and glued it to the cardstock. So that's the calendar page for me. And she zigzagged or just stitched around it. and I used brown thread. I think she used either brown or black. And then she had some fabric triangles and some rickrack and one of the milk pogs. So that's one that I completed. And I have all of these that are glued and sewn. And she said she does it in stages like that, like assembly line. So she, on one session, she glued her pieces to the file folder. And then on another session, she did the embellishing. So I'm going to embellish a couple while you're here. And she also did some, instead of having the fabric triangles, she used a strip of, looks like patchwork fabric. She called it fabric washi. So it is pieces glued, adhered down to a strip, a sticky strip. And then when you're ready to use it, you just stick it down or glue it down somewhere. But I don't make the fabric washi, so I just snipped up some little scraps that I had and sewed them together. And I can trim them to a width that I want, so I might get 2 strips out of this if I want to. They're here if I want them. And I'm only going to do a couple in this video anyway. I have some fabric triangles that were pre-cut that I've gotten at flea markets. Those are kind of big. I did have to trim these down, but I thought those colors were just perfect with this card. I think these are all squares, but then, you know, I can cut the square into a triangle. And I have some triangles right here that are a little smaller than these. So let's just pick one up and see what we can do with it. I think I would want, I don't want to cover their faces, so maybe I'll do strip at the bottom with one of these pieces. And there's a lot of orange in this, so I could use the orange drink. I'll just cut this in half. I have Teddy here doing school, and what time I was in here, I've been prepping for doing this video. I did a lot of this work yesterday, but I've been trying to get ready to make a video, and he's almost done with school now. I love the milk bottle caps. They just add such a charming touch to journals and journal ephemera. This image was taken from, I think it was a reader, but I am almost positive that the illustrator is Corinne Malvern for that one, not for this one. One of my very favorites. Her children are just so precious. Okay, there's another one. This is from an older reader. I'll do this one. Let's see how this rickrack looks. I like the gold in it. Yeah, I like the teal too. It's not quite the same color as the green in the illustration, but I like it. It's nice. And I'll pick out some fabric triangles. I have this. Oh, that one is sewn, is pieced, so that's great. Love that. Maybe just one is enough because it has 2 pieces in it already. Yeah, I like it like that. I'll glue these pieces down and then I'll figure out where to put the milk pog. I was talking to my parents yesterday about Karla doing the video using my milk pogs, and then I started selling them. More milk pogs. I had sold some, you know, when I first put them in the shop, but it had slowed down. And then all of a sudden it picked up again, and I didn't understand why until I saw her video. And anyway, I was telling my parents, and then my dad used to deliver milk. We had milk cows, and we had a milk plant, a cheese plant in our tiny little town that I grew up in. So he would deliver milk there, and he drove a milk truck for a while, which I don't remember. I mean, I remember his stories about it, but I was pretty little when he was driving milk truck. I'll put it over here. Anyway, I don't remember seeing milk bottles, glass milk bottles with the pogs. So these were before that time. So he was not quite sure what I was talking about when I was talking about these. So I pulled up my Etsy listing on my phone and showed it to him. He told me a story that's really cute. I like that. I'll do one more. He was telling me about a man that he used to, when he was young, he was still a kid, you know, like maybe a teenager, would help him deliver milk. And he didn't remember the milk pogs, but he's not sure if he actually had those, this guy that he drove for, or delivered with. And he, I guess, earned some money for helping him out, but I think he said his favorite thing was maybe a soda. He'd get treated to a soda or something. So I need to ask him to tell me that story again, because apparently I wasn't paying enough attention. I was focused on the milk pog stuff. I love this color with this. So I need to ask him to tell me that so I can remember one of his childhood stories or youth stories. I love to hear my parents tell their stories. My mother didn't have a happy childhood, but so she doesn't talk about it much. And if she does, I don't know, she focuses more on the negative than on the good. Which I don't blame her for that, but she doesn't talk about it much, and I love to hear my dad's stories. And I'm with my dad. I had a happy childhood because of them, because of my parents. And I had 5 siblings to grow up with. This is not part of the ones that I was selling. Okay, so I have 4 of these all done, and I'll show you the ones that I have ready. I love this little chubby boy in his yellow snowsuit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. I'll have 13 altogether when I get them done. And it shouldn't take too long to do them. And let's see, the next thing that was on, I made some drawings of what she did. And the next thing was the last thing that I have prepped. And that was flip, what'd she call them? Or maybe I just called them that. Flip cards. So all of these, oh, my notebook just fell. All of these are in preparation for these cards, plus some images from this tray. So, these are the images that I pulled. They have to be small enough to fit on a 3x5 card. So it's an index card, and she didn't say how she constructed them, but she just said, you know, it was attached to an index card. So I took this piece of yellow paper that came from a thrift store or flea market, and I took a piece of book page, and these book pages happen to be from a vintage Bobbsey Twins book. And she had them on there sideways, which is nice because then I think you don't feel like you're supposed to try to read that. It's just background. So I covered them. I cut the yellow paper 5 by 3 1/4. So it was just a little bit taller than the index card. So I could hinge that over. That's all. And I glued it down, and then I just did a zigzag stitch. I think she put rickrack on hers because in my sketch, excuse the messy sketch, okay? I just did it really fast, but it just has a zigzag right there. And I didn't make a note on it, so I didn't know if it was rickrack or a zigzag stitch, but I think it was rickrack. But anyway, I stitched mine, and I can just glue rickrack on top of them if I want to. So I have 6 of these ready. And then she added an image and a label that she stamped. And she had flowers or hearts or butterflies that were die cut. And then a little shaped button. And I happened to have these buttons that I got from Amazon. And I thought these would be perfect. So I stamped, I got out some die cuts that I had already that were small, and I did a few more flowers and buttons. And I did some stamping in pretty colors of labels. And I'll just cut out what color I need. So I have this one done, and then you can journal on this and on that. I have this. This is just a little square, but it's really cute. And I think it's a sick bunny in bed. I don't know if it's Peter Rabbit. And I just have a little die cut medallion and an arrow. And then I thought maybe I would add this little piece of one of my dry cleaner tickets. Oh. And did I have a label ready for this? I had a button. I don't know if I need a label because this is extra. Dry cleaner ticket. So I'm just going to glue it on like this. You get inspiration from other crafters, and then you use what supplies you have and put your own spin on it, your own style. Sometimes I will copy something pretty literally, what the other person did, and then I take off with my own things because I have supplies that they don't have, or she has supplies that I don't have, or I have an idea that, well, this would work. And hers weren't all the same. Like I said, on this one, some of hers had that fabric washi at the bottom or at the top, so she didn't have the fabric triangles on all of them. But it's just an idea, and then you take off and change it up, do your own thing. And my plan was, I saw her video a few days ago, and I was going to, I wanted to make the things that she made, and then I could maybe sell the rest of my milk pucks. But like I said, they're all gone. I'm making this video on Wednesday, and I think I don't have any in the queue. I think they're all published now. So this will be shown on Thursday, but they all sold Wednesday, the last one. So thank you to those of you who purchased some. I really appreciate it. I might eventually put some more in the shop. And there's another one. I have two. I have these adorable little ducks that I cut out of a book. And I thought maybe I could put a few of them on a page or on a card. Just want to wipe that glue. Yep, they came from the same book. No, that's not what we're doing on these. Maybe an orange label. Some of them didn't stamp as well. I'll put a little rickrack at the bottom of this one. That's adorable. I love that. I'm looking at my time. I think it said 28 minutes. And I don't think I have to edit anything out yet. It would be nice to be able to put a video up without editing it. Okay, what else? I have this. This is not quite as vintage, but it's really cute. Let's see if we can do something cute with it. I normally edit out when I'm trimming, but let's just talk while I'm trimming. I'm excited to get started on the next journal project, which is not where these things are going. They could. I might use some of them in it. Not going to tell you what it is yet. But it is totally inspired by another one of my favorite YouTube creators. And I've talked about her a lot, and I have done things inspired by her often. That's really cute. I like that. Maybe a hot pink label on that one. Oh, that's cute. And now I'm excited to go back to the flea markets and look for kids' books. It's not so easy to come across the really good ones with the kind of illustrations you want. I will link Karla's video where she's showing all of the elements that she made. I said the first thing she showed was the circle cutout things, but I think the first thing she showed were some paper clips that she did. Well, the tip is stuck in there, and I just used it. I've got to do something about this bottle because it is more than half full, and I don't want to keep dealing with these issues with the tip. This glue is too expensive to have problems like that. This is Barely Arts, or Barely Art. And maybe when this is gone, I'll go back to, what's the other one? Can't remember. That's cute. So I have four of these done, and 4 of the other one. So I can do probably a couple more of the milk bottle ones. Milk bottle caps. think Teddy's done with school. I heard him come out of the classroom, which is my office. He sits at the desk in there with his computer. I heard him come out of there a little while ago. He'll probably want me to take him home as soon as I'm done here. I think the main reason he likes me to take him home is because if his mother picks him up, then she stays and talks for a long time. And he just wants to go home. He sits and plays on his phone while we talk, and he's very patient. He's good about it, but I know he just wants to go. He has mentioned before how long we talk. We got our nails done yesterday, you may have noticed. And we walked in, it was in the afternoon when we went this time, and lots of times, I don't want it all over. Lots of times we go in and we have, like, it's almost full of people getting their nails done, and we might have to soak, and then we have to wait once our old polish is soaked off. We have to wait for somebody to be available. Sometimes, not all the time. But this time, there were no clients in there. There were 4 or 5 workers and no clients. So we got in right away. We got to sit next to each other the entire time, both the soaking time and the manicure time. And we just talked and talked and talked. But if she came to pick him up, we would still have a lot to talk about. All right, I'm gonna say that's good for today. So let's see what we did. I'm pretty happy with these. First, I'll review the things that I showed you at the beginning that I already had made that we didn't do today. We didn't do any of these, because basically it's just cutting out a circle and gluing it to cardstock. So we have the little pig going to market, and this adorable little pig, and Peter Pumpkin Eater. And I think these were all cut from my book house books. And then the 2 figures that can be tuck spots or journaling cards. Then we have probably 5 of these now. And I think it's cute that they're on these calendar pages. It's not just a plain background page. And it's a way to use up those calendar pages I've been holding on to. Okay, those are the milk bottle cap ones. And these are the flip cards with the index card. These are vintage index cards. Oh, I love that one. 4 of those. I feel like maybe this one does need some rickrack. Let's see if I have orange rickrack. I like to get vintage rickrack, but if I run out of a color, like I ran out of red, so I bought new red, and I don't think I have any orange. I used to, but I think it's gone. I've got to neaten it up in here again. Yep, no orange. I could look for blue. That's cute. That helped. All right. Another thing that she did next on my list here that I haven't even started is making a pocket out of a book page. So it would be something like this, but it's a pocket, and then she has a tag in it, and then it's decorated. So maybe I'll do that in the next video. So I'm gonna go see what Teddy's up to now, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye.